So what's going on, Raider Nation? This is the Raider Critique, and bro, I really didn't do any justice on the last video I did. I didn't spit off any stats. So we're going to rehash a little bit on what went on from last week, and then we're going to go on to the pregame for this week versus the Chiefs. I do want to apologize that that my mind's really not been in the game. Had a lot going on. I'm pretty sure, if you don't know, you will by the end of the month, I'm sure. But I came out and I lashed out at this football team. Figured you guys, at least as Raider Nation, deserve to exactly hear the stats and basically my opinion on the whole thing, what happened with the whole game. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the intro, and we're going to go ahead and get this rehash started. So here we are, Raider Nation. We're rehashing this miserable game that we all had to sit through last week. And the reason why we're doing this is because, after looking at the stats and seeing everything, there were some things that I did miss on. Let's be real. We did not play good last week, offensively or defensively. And it definitely shows in the stats that I got right here on my phone, man. Derek Carr went 15 of 27 for 127 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Mike Glennon went 4 of 7 for 20 yards because, we did pull Derek Carr from the game toward the latter end of the third quarter. Josh Jacobs had 10 carries for 34 yards. DeAndre Washington had 6 carries for 19. Derek Carr had 1 carry for 11. Jalen Richard had 2 carries for 4. Mike Glennon, 2 carries for no yards. And Alec Ingold, 1 carry for no yards. That was that fourth down that we went forward on and did not get, I believe. Receiving. Our top wide receiver was Jalen Richard, 6 receptions for 47 yards on 7 targets. Yes, I'm mentioning the targets because this is a key to why we lost this game. Darren Waller, 3 receptions on 6 targets for 41 yards. Hunter Renfrow, who, by the way, we're going to wish a speedy recovery to. We're going to hope and pray that this guy is going to hopefully be eligible sometime later on in the season. From what I'm hearing, punctured lung and a broken rib. The dude's probably gone for the year. Tyrell Williams. Yep. 2 receptions, 6 targets, 18 yards. Zay Jones, 2 receptions on 2 targets for 5 yards. Foster Moreau, 1 target, 1 reception for 3 yards. Josh Jacobs, 1 target, 1 reception for 2 yards. And then Derek Carrier had a target. Trevor Davis had 2 targets. DeAndre Washington had 1 target, 1 reception for no yards. And Marcel Aitman, 1 target, no receptions. Now let's move on down to fumbles. Mike Glennon had 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles under center, and he lost 1 of those. Colton Miller had 1 fumble recovery. Obviously, that was one of the ones that Mike Glennon dropped. Interceptions, well, we didn't have one of those. We had 2 pass deflections from Daryl Worley and DJ Swearinger. Moving on to the defense, Tahir Whitehead had 5 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. Curtis Riley had 5 tackles, 1 assist, 1 tackle for a loss. Nicholas Morrow, 5 tackles, 5 assists. That dude is actually stepping up for us quite a bit. But that's because they were working right into the middle of the field, right into our linebacking core. And it's actually nice that somebody was actually making those tackles. Eric Harris, 4 tackles, 2 assists. Jonathan Hankins, 3 tackles, 2 assists, 1 for a loss. DJ Swearinger had 3 tackles, 1 assist. Nevin Lawson had 3 tackles. Max Crosby had 3 tackles, 1 assist, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for a loss. Trayvon Mullen, 3 tackles. Will Compton, 2 tackles, 2 assists. Daryl Worley, 1 tackle, 1 assist. PJ Hall, 1 tackle. Maurice Hurst, 1 assist that I believe he got flagged on for roughing the passer. And then Cleveland Farrell had 3 assisted tackles. Daniel Carlson, 1 of 2 field goals. An average, well, there's no average there. It was a 48-yard field goal. A.J. Cole had 7 punts. 7 punts for a 45-yard average. 4 of those punts were inside the 20. Good job, A.J. Cole. His longest punt was 57 yards. Trevor Davis had 4 kick returns, averaging 17.5 yards. His longest return being 22 yards. Punt returns was also Trevor Davis, 2 returns for a 7-yard average, 11 being his long. So now that I've actually gone over the stats, and we look at how this team played last week, I can give you a final assumption on how I really felt about this, which I thought I actually hit the nail on the head last week, or at the beginning of the week, or however you want to call it. We need better execution. All them dropped passes that I just talked about, literally 4 being on Tyrell Williams, 4 drops. And we can blame Derek Carr all we want, but when you're hitting the dudes right in the numbers, it's not his fault. And yes, on the last podcast, I said wet footballs, cold weather equals dropped passes. Well, the Jets didn't have any problems catching the ball. Yes, they might be used to the weather, and yes, we were playing at their home, but, you know, if it was really such a factor, then both teams would have had issues. I'm tired of making excuses, all right? I'm sick and tired of making excuses. This team just didn't show up to play. They did not show up to play, and whether or not they showed up to play or not, I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. I will always be a Raider fan. I have the brand right on my chest, right above my heart. I ain't never leaving. But I'll tell you this. It was dreadful watching that game last week. Dreadful. Dreadful. Just trying to watch that game last week. seeing mistake after mistake after mistake. Once we went down 20-3, I didn't know on whether I was going to be able to keep watching or not. We dropped so many passes. And then on top of that, we didn't throw it to the running backs like we should have. We threw it to Jalen Richard a few times. Josh Jacobs got one target. One target. One reception. So we're not utilizing our running backs to the best of their ability. If we can't run the ball, we do need to pass the ball to them. Especially when we got wide receivers who basically have butterfingers. It is definitely solidified that we do not have a number one wide receiver on this squad. And everybody's allowed to have an off day. Maybe we were looking past this team to move on to the team that we have this week, which will be going on at 3:25 p.m. Central Standard Time versus the Chiefs in Arrowhead with basically the same type of weather without it being severely wet going on. Now look, we all know Derek Carr has issues playing in cold weather. We're going to have wind speeds in between 7 miles per hour and 21 miles per hour by the time game time hits. 36 degrees is what it's going to be, is what's the temperature is going to be at the start of the game. You know? And this game right here is for first place in the division. We have a record of 6-5, while they have a record of 6-4 or 7-4. This game right here, and not to mention Arrowhead is a very loud stadium. It's a very loud stadium, and we're going to have to do everything we can to get this crowd out of the game. Because when the game has outside interferences, especially like when it comes to the crowd, all right, a lot of things happen. The quarterback can't communicate with the offensive line. A lot of false starts happen. Penalties fly. Now, I know I blamed a lot on the penalties last week, on the referees not doing their job correctly. But we didn't even help the situation. We were not executing. We've got to have better execution, especially in crunch time like this. Because this is crunch time, Raider Nation. This game can either make or break our season. Now, the good thing we got going on here is that Kansas City's defense is not very good. As a matter of fact, I believe that they are last in the league at stopping the run. And as of before last week, we were a top 10 team in the rushing department on offense. So maybe, just maybe, we can pound that rock in between the tackles and do what Tennessee did to this team when they played them, breaking off big chunks of yardage and creating momentum for this football team for the go-ahead win. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If all we're going to do is run, we're going to have issues. We need our wide receivers to catch the ball. Now, with Hunter Renfrow out, there's no telling who's going to be jumping in to take his spot. I already said that we need Trevor Davis on the field. And why not have Zay Jones on the field as well? Because he's used to playing in cold weather. As you can see, when he was targeted twice, he didn't drop the ball. I'm extremely upset with this wide receiver core because I know that they can do better. I know they can do better. I know that they can catch the ball if they would just. It's basic football 101. You watch the ball go into your hands. Catch the ball, bring it to your chest, then look up the field. It's a basic, proper procedure. Catch the ball, bring it into your chest, then look up the field. You can't put this on Derek Carr when he hits you straight in the numbers. And as I was always told, is if you can touch it, you should be able to catch it. This is basic football 101. There's absolutely no excuse for how many drops we had last week. No excuse. Unless they were paid off by the Jets to suck. And that's what I'm calling, man. I don't know if Tyrell was, and I don't even want to go there. But, maybe he was meeting up with some of the Jets before the game and they paid him off to drop a lot of passes. With all the problems that we had with Antonio Brown not being a part of this team, Tyrell, you need to step up, bro. You need to step up. Dude, you are basically our sit-in number one. I have watched you catch passes contested. I've watched you catch passes uncontested. We know you have it in you to make sure that you watch the ball go into your hands or even into your chest. Bring it in and then look up the field. Trevor Davis, same thing, man. You guys are as fast as lightning, running a 4.240. And between 4.2 and 4.4. We know you're fast. You're all pretty agile. Catch the ball, man. You guys basically got Derek Carr benched to where we could watch old Glennon come in here and basically fumble the ball 3 times under center, create a turnover. If you guys would have done your job, Derek Carr wouldn't have got taken out of the game. Of course, Derek Carr threw that pick 6, but what else is he supposed to do? He's sitting here trying to put the whole team on his shoulders. We couldn't run the ball. Obviously, we couldn't pass the ball because nobody was catching the ball. I mean, I don't know what else to say. All I know is that we need to see a better version of this team than what we saw last week if we're going to compete with the Chiefs. Because the division's on the line. The division is on the line. Our playoff hopes, and this is basically by a matter of opinion, are on the line. Teams like Houston that we shouldn't have lost to are in the hunt. Pittsburgh is in the hunt. Indianapolis is in the hunt. Okay? We're going to have to hope that all of these teams lose and we win this week to where we can solidify ourselves even a wild card slot in the playoffs. But also, that's might not even be a possibility because we'll be tied for first place if we win this game for the division. With Tennessee, Jacksonville, Denver, and the Chargers all left on the schedule. It was like I said before, Raider Nation. We need better execution. We need this team to start playing. Now, last time we played this Chiefs team, okay? Last time we played this Chiefs team, they put up 28 points on us in one quarter. Providing that we had Garyon Conley, who wasn't doing very well as our number one corner. Now we've got Trayvon Mullen back there, and I've got more faith in Mullen than I do in Conley. And LaMarcus Joyner is coming back. So the only two people that we're really missing from the secondary from the beginning of the season is Jonathan Abram and Carl Joseph. And we've got two guys in DJ Swearinger and Eric Harris who do a fine job back there. They're making tackles. Now, as long as they can stick to their receivers, because we are going against Patrick Mahomes, and yes, Patrick Mahomes has a knee problem. He's not looking like his normal self like he was at the beginning of the season ever since he suffered this injury, and we need to exploit that. We need to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes and make him use that knee of his. We also need to stop Travis Kelce going down the middle. They also have Tyreek Hill, and we got that dude Robinson that we got to worry about who worked us over last time we played. And then Hardeman, who also scored on big long passes down the field against us in week 2. Let's not even talk about their running back, LaShawn McCoy, who always seems, no matter who he plays, okay, he'll play crappy against everybody else, but when it comes to us, he runs the ball all over us. We need to step up. Our season is at stake. We're going to have to stop them on defense. We are going to have to score points on offense and not make lame brain plays, lame brain drops of the football. I don't care how cold it is out there. You guys get paid millions of dollars to play a football game. Providing that it is cold up there, all right, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. And can we please limit the penalties? I understand the refs are going to always come into play when it comes to the Raiders because they are so flag happy when it comes to us. But let's not give them a reason to throw a flag. Let's not give them a reason to throw a flag. Holding penalties, false starts, these are all unacceptable. These are all mental mistakes. Offensive line, you guys were judged as one of the greatest offensive lines in the league this year, but you didn't show it last week. You did not show it last week. And it all starts with those guys right there. You guys need to be on your P's and Q's. You need to dot your I's and cross your T's and do your job. Create holes for the running backs to get through. Protect Derek Carr. It's a hard job, I understand. And no, I'm not a big dude. I've never played offensive line. I just wish I was 200 pounds heavier to where I could go out there and show you guys how to do your job. Trent Brown, all this money that we paid you for. All right? Do your job. Do your job. And that goes all the way around to this whole football team. It is a team sport. You all are paid to play a football game. And you're paid a whole hell of a lot more than any of us are out here in the real world having to work a 9 to 5. Do your job. We do ours. Y'all need to do yours. But I'm optimistic about this game. I am optimistic about this game. And I'm going to pray it into existence that we finally get it all to come together. Paul Gunther, stop running zone all the time and run man for once. John Gruden, stop being so predictable on offense. I love you guys, man. I love this whole football team. I love the Raider Nation. I love the fan base. Give guys like me something to be happy about. And let's take this division. Let's tie ourselves for this division. We have the 5th easiest schedule in the league as of next week. We need to step it up. But I'm telling you right now, if we play like we played against the Jets, Okay? We're not going to beat the Chiefs. We're not even going to beat the Tennessee Titans. Because you saw what Tennessee did to this Kansas City team if they couldn't stop the run. And that's what we need to exploit. We know Kansas City can't stop the run. And we've got one of the best running backs in the league. If he's hurt and he can't go, put DeAndre Washington in the game and let him run angry. We need to step it up, football team. We need to step it up, Raiders. Because if not, it's win or bust. It's win or bust. And if we don't step up, we're going to bust. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I'm tired of playing spoiler. All right? I don't want to play spoiler this year. This is our last year in Oakland. Our last year in Oakland before we move on to the desert in Las Vegas. Give those fans something to be happy about, regardless on how you feel about the politics or anything like that about the city of Oakland, anything. If you're not going to do it for the city, at least do it for your fan base. We know you guys can play better than the way you played last week. Now show us. So this is the Raider critique, man. And you guys have seen me on the Hardcore Raider Nation podcast that comes on Hardcore Raiders channel on YouTube. And, hey, I'm actually very happy for Hardcore Raider, man. I am glad that he has added me into the mix. And as a matter of fact, he's adding all types of other people into the mix. We had Bigger Bradder Sports, who was there yesterday. And then, of course, we've had Watts Raider in there, man. And hey, Watts is awesome. His knowledge and everything that he talks about. And we also had Mojo Raider as well, bro. What this channel is all about is about uniting all the YouTubers and podcasters of the Raider Nation to basically put us all on one platform. Now, of course, his channel is just like mine. We are not doing this for revenue at all. We do this for the sheer love of the football team and the fans of this wonderful football team. We absolutely love what we're doing. Absolutely love it, man. And there's so much passion that goes on when we all get together and talk, and such a meeting of the minds. I don't understand why this wasn't done sooner. Now, I said that I would have Raider Scream here, but, I mean, let's just be honest, man. I've been having financial issues to where I haven't been able to go and record with him. And I'm not able to go anywhere, really. It's also been a pretty hectic week going on with Thanksgiving, which happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it with your family and friends. I know that I at least got to hang out with my immediate family. I am missing my children extremely bad. I missed my son's birthday. I've actually missed both of my son's birthdays since this whole debacle that happened. And it's not by my choice. I miss my baby girl. You know, and the only thing that I can hope is that my kids will be back here by Christmas to where I don't have to spend Christmas without them. Because family, number one, is what's important. Football is football. But let's just be honest with you. I don't know if I would be a Raider fan if it wasn't for the family aspect. Because family does come first. And we're not just Raider fans. We're not just the Raider Nation. We're a family. And without this second family of the Raider Nation that I have, I don't know where I would be. And that's real. That's real. So I want to go ahead and end this episode, but I don't want to end this episode on a sour note. I would like everyone, if not anyone, to just pray for the less fortunate. Pray that they are going to have a great, wonderful holiday season. If they're homeless, pray that they're going to have a place to live, to where they can get out of the cold. Pray for people with drug addictions, that they are able to kick their addiction and live their life to the way God intended them to live their life. Clear-minded, open-hearted. Just pray. Just pray to our Creator that the way the world is working, that it will go back to normal. Because I can tell you what, 2019 has been a very rough year, and it hasn't been just a very rough year for me. It's been a very rough year for all of us. No joke. So anyway, respect and appreciate what you have. Luckily for me, I've got all of you. And I do have my intermediate family, and I have some really good friends. And that I am blessed for. Of course, I've got a wonderful pastor as well who has helped me throughout so much in helping me change my ways as well. So anyway, man, this is the Raider Critique. We're going to go ahead and hop on out of here. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And let's get these Chiefs, man. Go Raiders.